Remington Park Update is sponsored by the Thoroughbred Racing Association of Oklahoma.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Remington Park Update. I'm Jim Byers. A little bit later this month, it'll be Oklahoma Derby Day, September 27th here at the track. That's a 1:30 post time for that rare Sunday card. A little bit later in the program, we'll take a look ahead at all the racing activities coming up on Derby Day. But first, some stakes to recap already from the month of September. Let's begin with the Remington Park Turf Sprint. Accredited Oklahoma foals contested this $50,000 dash. The September 11th feature covered 5 furlongs on the grass. The late-running Perfect to Please went off at 3-1 after a narrow victory over similar company in the Red Earth Stakes. The solid 8-5 favorite, though, is the one to catch on the lead, Okie Ride.
Okie Ride is up by 3. Perfect to Please drops in at the rail. Now moves out, coming at Okie Ride. Okie Ride will get to the line in time.
In his first start of 2015, Okie Ride does his thing, and that is win the Remington Park Turf Sprint. The son of Candy Ride and the mare Tic Tac has taken 3 of those in a row, accounting for almost a quarter of his 13 career wins. Ridden by Luis Quinones, Okie Ride races for his breeder, the Richter Family Trust. Kenneth Nolan is the trainer of this 8-year-old, the time 56.15 seconds. The following week, more Oklahoma breds were featured in the Tejada Stakes. 3-year-old fillies went 7 furlongs for a $50,000 total purse on September 18th. Among the contenders is Frida Zamba, who broke her maiden at Remington a year ago but hadn't been back since. Number 4, Dancing Diva, enters off a runner-up finish to one of her rivals here, 4-5 favorite Zealous Vision. That Scott Young trainee romped in an allowance prep for the Tejada August 28th. Proved her credentials by winning last fall's Oklahoma Classics Lassie Stakes. The second wagering choice at 9-2 was the 7, Rich Uncle, also an allowance winner last month. Some support as well for Esperanza at 5-1. She jumped up and won the Iowa Stallion Filly Stakes this summer at Prairie Meadows, fresh off a maiden win for trainer Lynn Kleberad.
6 wide off the turn. It's Rich Uncle and Zealous Vision merging outside. Rich Uncle has the slight lead by a length. Zealous Vision is right there, pulling up alongside on even terms. Inside, here's Dancing Diva with a big run. Now Zealous Vision nose to nose with Rich Uncle. Late in the game, Zealous Vision outside. Rich Uncle battling back nose to nose on the line.
Jockey Brian McNeil was denied a come-from-behind win by a narrow margin in the Remington Turf Sprint, but he's up in time on the outside here with Zealous Vision. Rich Uncle a good second, with Dancing Diva third. Zealous Vision is a gray or roan daughter of the Visualizer and American Sound, owned by her breeder Center Hills Farm, along with Big Sugar Racing. An earner of more than $187,000 in her career, Zealous Vision is trained by Scott Young. The time for the race, 1 minute 25.24 seconds. Also on that September 18th program was the Tishomingo Stakes. Again, a $50,000 event for Oklahoma breds at 7 furlongs, but the Tishomingo was for 3-year-old colts and geldings. Plenty of backing for number 1, Okie Dokie Kyle at 2-1. He's 3-for-5 lifetime, with wins at Remington and Will Rogers in Oklahoma Stallion Stakes. The 7-5 favorite is number 2, Air Assault. He broke his maiden this summer at Prairie Meadows and promptly won again in allowance company for trainer Charles Abernathy. Number 5, He Knows Better, was dispatched at 5-1 with Cliff Barry. While the longest shot in the field at 12-1 is Mustang Eddie, 1-for-12 lifetime, but a frequent battler in Oklahoma bred stakes.
Top of the stretch, it is Okie Dokie Kyle at the rail. Perfect Majestic outside. Here comes Air Assault and Mustang Eddie inside the furlong pole of the Tishomingo. Okie Dokie Kyle has a little bit more than Perfect Majestic. Mustang Eddie is flying but needs a path outside Air Assault. Air Assault will take the cleaner trip and get up to win it by a half length.
Those dueling pace setters displayed good courage in the stretch, but eventually they were bookended by Air Assault on the outside and Mustang Eddie up the rail. Air Assault has won 3 of his last 4 and has developed nicely for owner and trainer Charles Abernathy. by Air Commander from the mare Miss Conti. Air Assault is another winner, like Zealous Vision, bred by Center Hills Farm. High marks for Mustang Eddie with Okie Dokie Kyle third. The time 1 minute 23.34 seconds. As we mentioned at the top of the program, September 27th is the day of the Grade 3 $400,000 Oklahoma Derby here at Remington Park. But that's not the only added money event on that day's program. Let's take a look at the stakes lineup for Derby Day. There's a stakes race for just about everybody on Derby Day. Filly and mare sprinters will go 6 furlongs in the $50,000 guaranteed Flashy Lady Stakes. 2-year-olds will contest the Kip DeVille Stakes, a $75,000 event at 6 furlongs, while filly and mare turf runners will go 1 mile and 1/16 in the $75,000 Rick's Memorial Stakes. One of the longest running local stakes is the Remington Green. Its Derby Day renewal is at 1 mile and 1/8 on the turf for 3-year-olds and up and features a $100,000 purse. Moving upward in purse value is the $150,000 Remington Park Sprint Cup, to be contested by 3-year-olds and up on the main track at 6 furlongs. Richer still is the $200,000 guaranteed Remington Park Oaks. 3-year-old fillies go 1 mile and 1/16 on the main track in the Oaks. Where there's an Oaks, there's usually a Derby. The Grade 3 Oklahoma Derby tops the card on September 27th. This year's edition once again carries a $400,000 purse. 3-year-olds of either gender will race 1 mile and 1/8 on the main track. Coming up, we'll have more on the Oklahoma Derby and also take a look at some of the horses pointing toward the races on the Derby undercard. Coming up right after this timeout.
More than 6,400 jobs are involved in the Oklahoma horse racing and racehorse breeding industries, but it doesn't stop at the racetrack or farm. From the stalls to house equine athletes, to the trailers that keep them on the road. Workers throughout the state provide Oklahoma-made products and services to the racing industry. More from the Thoroughbred Racing Association of Oklahoma at traoracing.com.
On this edition of the Remington Park Update, we're looking ahead to the Derby Day card on September 27th. A variety of stakes races that day, including the Remington Park Sprint Cup, and Ivan Fallen of a Lot is one of the horses pointing for that one. Sunday's card at Remington Park features a total of 7 stakes, 4 with purses of $100,000 or more. The first of those is the $100,000 Remington Green. This 1 mile and 1/8 turf event for 3-year-olds and up drew a field of 7. One of the top contenders is Cougar Ridge, a winner over this course last month in the Edward J. DeBartolo Memorial Handicap. Trainer Randy Morse claimed this 5-year-old last spring for $62,500 at Keeneland and saw him win his first stakes race in the DeBartolo. The Remington Green goes as the 4th race on Sunday. The 5th is the $150,000 Remington Park Sprint Cup. It's for 3-year-olds and up at 6 furlongs, and much of the attention will be on the popular 5-year-old Ivan Fallen of a Lot, winner of last month's David Vance Sprint at Remington. Trainer Tom Howard claimed this gelding a year and a half ago for $25,000, and since then has won 6 races, 3 of those stakes, including back-to-back editions of the David Vance. Hall of Fame jockey Calvin Burrell will once again have the call on Ivan Fallen of a Lot, a winner of 10 of 18 lifetime, in the Remington Park Sprint Cup. 3-year-old fillies go 1 mile and 1/16 on Sunday in the race before the Derby, the $200,000 Remington Park Oaks. The star of the Oaks is Include Betty, who recently competed in all 3 legs of New York's prestigious Triple Tiara, winning the Grade 1 opening leg, the Mother Goose. Trained by Tom Proctor, Include Betty has earnings in excess of $591,000. She'll be ridden by Drayden Van Dyke in the Remington Park Oaks, Sunday's 8th race on the Oklahoma Derby card at Remington Park.
The Oklahoma Derby goes as the 9th of 12.
On Thursday, entries were drawn for the Grade 3 $400,000 Oklahoma Derby. A field of 12 sophomores will race 1 mile and 1/8 on the main track. Trainer Donnie Von Hiemel's runners bookend the field, as Poseidon's Way drew the rail and Hillbilly Royalty the outside. A 3-time winner from 6 career starts, Poseidon's Way enters off a narrow allowance win going 1 mile on August 22nd at Remington. He'll once again have Luis Quinones aboard. The runner-up in that allowance prep is stablemate Hillbilly Royalty. Bred and owned by Toby Keith's Dream Walkin' Farms. Also a 3-time winner, Hillbilly Royalty is slated to have Alex Berzer in the saddle. Trainer Steve Asmussen entered 2 in the Derby, including graded stakes winner Lucky Player. This Florida bred ran 3rd behind the 2 Von Hemel runners in his first local start. Lucky Player accounted for the Grade 3 Iroquois Stakes at Churchill Downs last fall. Ramon Vasquez is scheduled to ride. Another locally based contender is Shotgun Cowboy. Trained by C.R. Trout, Shotgun Cowboy has earnings of almost $230,000, with 4 wins and 6 tries, including the Oklahoma Classics Juvenile and Clever Trevor Stakes last year. A longtime local horseman, Trout gets the chance to run in the Oklahoma Derby for the first time, with a horse he also bred and owns. All-time leading local rider Cliff Berry will be aboard Shotgun Cowboy on Sunday. Among the notable shippers for the 27th edition of the Derby is Southern California-based Desert Dynamo. Trained by Jerry Hollendorfer, who won last year's Oklahoma Derby with Tonito M., Desert Dynamo stretches out in search of his first stakes win. Mario Gutierrez to ride. The well-traveled Super Colossal brings an unusual streak of 4 straight runner-up finishes into the Derby. His 4 seconds have all been in stakes, though. The last 2, the Grade 3 Smarty Jones at Parks, and before that, the Grade 2 West Virginia Derby at Mountaineer. He's earned better than $400,000. From Louisiana comes Mobile Bay, a rallying winner of the Grade 2 Super Derby at Louisiana Downs in his last start September 12th. A winner of 4 of his last 5 outings, Mobile Bay will have the riding services of Edgar Prado. Tale of Verve is the richest Derby entrant, despite just 1 win to his credit. He picked up the bulk of his $439,000 bankroll by running second, beaten 7 lengths by Triple Crown winner American Pharoah in the Preakness. He's been up the track in the Belmont, West Virginia Derby, and Travers since then. Wit 6, Bold Conquest, Classy Class, and The Truth or Else round out the field of 12, entered for the $400,000 Grade 3 Oklahoma Derby, the 9th of 10 races on Sunday's program at Remington Park.
Remington Park Update is sponsored by the Thoroughbred Racing Association of Oklahoma.
Coming up on the next Remington Park Update, we'll have a recap of the entire Derby Day card. For all the staff and crew here at Raceview Network, I'm Jim Byers. Thanks again for being with us here on the Remington Park Update.